What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to discuss the power that a comforting melody can bring. In this video, we'll be exploring theories on Six's music box and what purpose it holds in the narrative of Little Nightmares 2. Be prepared to have your minds blown, and without further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, the information surrounding the music box on the official websites and in-game footage is scarce. Aside from two scenes, one in the first chapter and the second instance in the fifth chapter, there is little evidence that definitively states the purpose or importance of the music box. However, careful observation and scrutiny can reveal some very interesting lore implications. Like most things in the world of Little Nightmares, answers to the most profound mysteries are often left in plain sight. In Chapter 1, when Mono first encounters Six trapped in the hunter's cabin, we see her endlessly cranking the lever to play the eerily soothing melody seemingly to no end. This scene is interesting for a number of reasons. As a quick side note, one thing that I always found odd was the fact that the hunter had left his latest catch alive. It is unknown how long the hunter had Six trapped in the room, but most interesting of all is that she didn't seem to be imprisoned, for lack of a better term. When Mono found her, she wasn't restrained or shackled, and even seemed to have access to basic playthings such as the music box and even chalk, which takes us to our next point. What initially seems to be the scribblings of a bored child who's been stuck in confinement changes into something altogether different after careful observation. These drawings seem to document several key components of not only Six's past endeavors, but more shockingly, of events to come. On the left side of the room, there is a very clear drawing of the signal tower broadcasting its mesmerizing transmission. If we are to assume that Six is the artist credited for these works, then this would mean that she is aware that the signal tower is the source of the evil and distortion plaguing Pale City. Logically, this would lead to the assumption that Six has at some point in time visited Pale City and has seen the tower firsthand. On the far wall, we see what seem to be various renditions of the same adult progressing through multiple scenarios. The reason why this is most likely the same adult versus several individuals is the fact that the adult in the drawing, however simple, seems to share several defining traits with the other sketches on the wall. Each of the drawings seem to have the same body type and no defining features, such as a gun for the hunter or a long neck for the teacher, save for one, the scratched out face. This detail is incredibly important because there is one singular character that is virtually defined by the fact that he hides his face: Mono. Mono's description on the official website states that, quote, his thin paper mask offers some respite, helping him to forget that the world outside hates him and wants him to fail, but he can't stay hidden forever, end quote. The lore implications for this description clearly state the reason why Mono chooses to hide his face. In his mission to overcome the endless loop that he is eternally bound to, he opts to remain anonymous so that he may improve his chances of swaying the only one that can free him from his fate: Six. So how does all this tie back to the music box? Well, allow me to indulge you. The music box serves two purposes, with the first being a symbolic representation of being soothed, comforted, and lulled into a dreamlike state. Keep this in mind for later. Despite the inhospitable conditions of Pale City and the constant stresses associated with survival against all odds, Six is able to find solace in the dark melody played by the music box. It is in this simple toy that Six has found a small semblance of peace in a world full of all manner of evil machinations designed to end with one's demise. This is evident in Chapter 5, when Six is captured by the Thin Man and transformed into a nightmarish form in the alternate reality inside of the signal tower. Six remains peaceful and does not show any signs of aggression until Mono damaged the music box. After repeated encounters, Six retaliated and attempted to kill Mono in order to salvage her precious music box. It's almost as if the signal tower understood the importance of the music box to Six and used that to her detriment to keep her trapped in a nightmare in her new hideous form. Once Mono succeeded in destroying the music box, he was able to awaken Six from her nightmare and return her to her child form. The second purpose of the music box is to symbolize the perpetual loop that both Six and Mono find themselves inextricably tied to. When Mono first locates Six in the opening sequences of Chapter 1, she is alone with a music box and he is armed with an axe. Do you believe that it is a mere coincidence that the final chapter mirrors these events almost exactly? Mono enters a doorway only to find Six alone with her music box. In the following moments, Mono uses an axe once again to destroy the music box. It's almost as if Six was aware of the events that would unfold on her journey to the signal tower with Mono. If this is true, then perhaps the hash marks on the wall have a much darker meaning. Just how terrible would it be if Six had done this all before and was keeping tallies of all Mono's previous attempts to change his fate? Would it be too much to think that in this world, the little nightmares were the worst ones of all? Don't believe me? Well, what kind of child would find comfort in a song titled Prison Toys? And that's all for this video. Until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out.